Hey, this is John Bollinger with Premier Guitar. Today we're doing a review demo of the Wonderlove Envelope Filter Deluxe by 3-Leaf Audio. 3-Leaf Audio has been working on this apparently for 4 long years, testing, tweaking, conspiring, and their goal was to get that cool envelope filter kind of like Stevie Wonder had on Higher Ground, you know. To get that higher ground kind of vibe, but with a lot more versatility, deeper lows, higher highs, and wah-like capabilities with an expression pedal. Also, well, some other tricks, and we'll tell you all about it after I tell you about how we're recording this. I'm playing my Reverend guitar. I don't know the model, but I've had this about 10 years, and it's stock. It's from my buddy Dylan, and he put Dylan pickups in this, and my buddy Shane Six did the pinstriping. Other than that, it's just as I got it 10 years ago. I'm running this directly into the Wonderlove, and then I'm running out of the Wonderlove into a Fender Supersonic amp. I'm recording that. We're miking with a Royer R121 mic, and that's going in an Apogee Quartet into Pro Tools. And one other ingredient, we're running the effects loop out of this into an Ibanez echo shifter, and I can show you what that does. There's a cool, well, in fact, why don't I just show you right now? Here's a cool thing that they've done. They have an effects loop, and with this switch here, you can leave it where the effects will come on only when you engage the pedal, or it's on all the time, depending on what you like. So let's say engage the pedal and engage the Ibanez. Now, depending on how that's switched, if it's up, you're going to hear it all the time. If it's down, you'll only hear it when this is engaged. And the way that comes in handy is, say you want to do something like a more intense effect. Or say you want that effect, the delay to continue on after you're no longer using the Wonderlove. Go like that, hit that switch, and it goes a little bit like this. So just a cool little odd, weird bit to add on to it, kind of affecting your effects. So the Wonderlove is a little bit intimidating when you start looking at it. There's a bunch of knobs, a bunch of outputs, a bunch of toggles, and 2 switches. But it's really not all that complicated. So let's go through it right quick. We'll start with this knob here. This big boy is your sensitivity. And what that means is an envelope filter, which I learned this actually from a rig rundown with Doug Wimbish of Living Color. When you, they respond to your dynamics, and when you're hitting it softly, it's keeping low and rumbly. But the sensitivity determines when you dynamically, what that dynamic point is where it flips over to the hit, where it engages. So every time you hit it a little bit harder, it pops up like that. But if you increase your sensitivity, that point where it's going to go into the filter comes on that much easier, if that makes sense. Turn it down and get. Okay, our next knob is attack. And this is talking about the initial attack of the filter. If you've got a low setting, it's quick and snappy. So let me show you. It's way down. Let's go right in the middle. See what that sounds. All the way up. Just more ways of dialing that tone in where you want it. Next in line we have decay, and that's the time it takes for the filter to sweep. High setting produces a long natural envelope sound, while the lower setting produces a quicker, more bubbly envelope sound. So let's try that. Right now we're right in the middle. Bring it on the low setting. Let's go all the way up. So they're all cool, but it's funny. I think if I was using something like this on a session, I could imagine dialing in a really cool sound and then never being able to find that same sound again. So it's the kind of thing where you might want to take your phone and take a picture of it once you find that perfect setting. But they're all cool, so who cares? Okay, next we have tone. Tone does what tone does. I'll turn it up, I'll turn it down. You get the idea. I don't know. You get the idea. So this magic switch right here is the bypass we talked about earlier that affects your effects loop, but it also gives you buffering, depending if you want to have just a straight shot, the signal going right through the pedal, or buffering. So it gives you that option. That's very cool. Right here we have boost, which gives you as much as 6 dB boost. I'll just crank her all the way up. You can see what it does. Turn it down. So it's cool to have that where if you want a little more oomph when you engage it, there it is. You can dial it in as you like. Next we have resonance, which is basically the wetness of it. And I've got it jacked up pretty high because I want you to hear what this damn thing does. So here it is all the way up. And here it is all the way down. You turn it down all the way and it becomes very subtle. Which is very cool because it's such a weird effect. There's a lot of weird effects like this that you rarely get to use because they're so in your face. But this, because of that and the blend, you get a very subtle approach. Speaking of subtlety or in your face, next we have the blend, which blends the affected signal with the non-affected. So turn it down. Pretty subtle. turn it up. So again, cool to have that option. Just a few more switches to go. Right over here we have the range. Basically up is the classic sound, down is a more modern. It's a simplification, but here we go. The other way. So our next toggle is sweep, which is the direction of the sweep. Up, it's the normal position, and down, it's reverse. So let's see what that does. I bet that's kind of cool with some dirt on it. Very cool. So right over here we have decay, and that's the time it takes for the filter to sweep. A high setting produces a long natural envelope sound, while the lower one produces a quicker, more bubbly sound. Let's try that. We're up right now. Lower sounds darker to me, but I don't know if it's faster. But well, your ear will tell you whatever that is. So those are the basics. Now the last thing is really cool. And it's this switch right here. When that blue light is engaged, you are then using your expression pedal. So I've got just a basic expression pedal plugged in like this. So now rather than, sometimes when you plug in an expression pedal to some pedals, once they're in line all the time, and it's going to be affecting it all the time. With this, you get the choice. So when you engage that, your expression pedal is activated, meaning your foot then has the control of the sound. So and the cool thing about that, it's like the most controlled wah ever. You can cock it in different places and get weird tones. Pretty cool, right? And it's a really good wah sound, Or, Hendrixy kind of stuff. The cool thing about it is with all of these knobs, you can make this, it's basically like having a wah that you can set any way you want. So it's a very cool two-in-one sort of approach they have. And then when you disengage that, you're just back to the normal do-it-yourself filter. Engage it and you're wah. Okay, so this is a pedal with 7 knobs, 4 toggles, 2 switches, a bunch of cables up here. It seems confusing, but it's really one of those things you have to kind of play with a little bit and then get the feeling for. So I'll tell you what, I'll just play a little bit, push some knobs, push some buttons, go between clean and dirty, and you can see basically what it does. How trippy hippie is that, right? I love it. It's almost a little bit like tape delays and things like that just sort of bring about these crazy sounds that you don't expect. Twist some knobs on this and you will find some weird sounds that you didn't expect. So the cool thing about this pedal is it responds to your playing. You can tweak this thing in where it's going to do just what you want it to do and play off what you're doing with your hands, which is very cool. So to read the full written review, go to premierguitar.com. While you're online, make sure you like us on Facebook and subscribe to our ever-growing YouTube channel. This is John Bolger. Till next time, peace out.
Don't forget to sign up for PG Perks, your all-access pass to exclusive gear giveaways and discounts on premierguitar.com.